What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? Every time I go up on here, it don't never fail. But anyway, honestly, I hope no shade, cause I'm a little tired. I hope this ain't a long video. Somebody told me last week, and you gave us almost 2 hours. Girl, like, some people just be ungrateful. Yeah, I don't know I can get on here and talk. But anyway, I hope everything has been going well with you guys. Everything has been going well with me. Was your Labor Day good? Mine was. I ain't do nothing. I was able to. Oh, this stuff is peeling. Thank God. I need to hurry up because it's itching. It was cool. It was cool. I had a relaxing vacation, a relaxing break and everything, and now I'm back to the throes of things and wish I was back on vacation because I just knew it. Me and my friend was talking about it and said, I know as soon as I get back to work, it's just going to be chaos that I got to fix. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Okay, that's exactly, yeah. I just don't understand how come things get so out of a disarray just because one person or maybe two is gone, and have people just be okay with just sitting around in clutter. I just don't. Is that OCD? Is that OCD? You just gotta have stuff in order. I just really can't function in dysfunction. But leave it to me to get stuff together. And so yeah, y'all, that's just really what was going on. A little stressful, but it's cool. Been going back pretty quick. I hope y'all have been doing good. Anyway, what's been up with y'all? The weather is getting cooler. Fall bring her ass in, and it ain't even fall yet. It's summer still, but hey, it is what it is. But we're gonna move on from that. Let's just get up into this video because it really wasn't much to talk about. First of all, why that is still on my mind, let me talk about this whole situation between Melody and Montel. Girl, I ain't talked about love and hip hop. See, there it is. It's I what is it called? Love and Marriage Huntsville. See, don't even remember the name. But let me tell you something. I have not watched the new season. Don't plan on watching it or anything of that such. I've been clocked out of the show. I tried to keep up with it even when I wasn't, recording or giving commentary on it. But it just became really like, it gets to a point. See, I'm not one of those people where, and this is no shade to anybody because I don't know too many people. Well, actually, the people that I do follow, they are, when they talk about things, they talk about things that they really want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to TV shows, when it comes to movies, when it comes to music, when it comes to whatever, right? Entertainment, they talk about things that interest them. And I'm one of those people too. Like, I cannot force myself to, just do something for a check or whatever, for some views or for whatever, people to come in and watch. Because I just know that if I was to continue doing certain shows, you would not get the energy that you, if you've been here for a while, that you know me for. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to give great commentary, you know what I'm saying, to a certain extent. In my opinion, good commentary. I want y'all to be engaged. I want y'all to be laughing and all this stuff. I don't ever want to come off angry or like, oh my God, I'm so annoyed that I got to do this and all this stuff, because it will show. And so therefore, that's why I stopped, reviewing and even watching some of these shows, because it just gets to a point where you got to move on. And especially given the fact that you see the pattern of behavior that is happening and there is no growth. I can't go back and look at Love and Marriage Huntsville and actually sit there and review it. First of all, the fans, y'all really had done a number and really discouraged me. I just don't like that fandom. I'm just sorry to say that. Love and hip hop, girl, I don't know what's real and what's fake. So, and the fakeness that used to happen in the beginning of the show, it used to be good fakeness. Now it's just like, what? Y'all doing all of this for what? Of all people, why would you do this? You know what I'm saying? So you got that going on. Meanwhile, on Love and Marriage Huntsville, y'all know Melody has left the show. Her last season was last season. She said that she was no longer going to be a part of the show. I feel like a lot of people had already knew that was coming because it was just in the cards. She just really wasn't getting along with anybody. She didn't care for anybody, and honestly, she's not my cup of tea. But I was on her side, especially when it came to the Montel situation, and it really disgusts me the way that there are people that still out here, especially women, who are literally Team Montel, and you see how he is. There is no sugarcoating that. What come to find out when all of this stuff just recently happened, I'm not surprised that it's way worse than what we know. It's way worse than what we know or what has been put out there on the TV screen or whatever, because it's edited. And you got to edit it down from all of the mess that he already do. That's just ridiculous. And it's really people out here who are Team Montel and all this stuff. And it's like, no shade, are you Team Abuse? I ain't calling him an abuser, but, you know, the things that his actions is giving that, you know. And according to Melody, that's what it is. And I'm going to always believe her when it comes to this situation. I'm going to always believe her, okay? And she recently, I guess they recently had a court, they was in court recently. And I will say, I don't follow Melody, never have, never will. But she do pop up on my For You page, her lives or whatever, when she be on TikTok doing her little selling stuff, right? Her shit be popping up. Stormy be popping up, selling Canvas Beauty and all that stuff. You know, they be up there trying to get their little coins and everything. I can't hate on that, right? And so you got that going on. And she was on live recently, and she was just talking about a situation that happened with Montel and Ariane coming up there and, you know, antagonizing her, you know, and all this other stuff. And she put it out there. And her words, that there were occasions where he literally physically put his hands on her. He punched her in the face. He punched her. He pulled out a gun on her and all of this other stuff. And it was just really disgusting. And some of this stuff was caught on tape. It was caught on film. It was done in front of the film. I said, what? I was just sitting here just like, I believe 100% everything that she says because he gives psychotic vibes, okay? And you have to be a pick-me that is okay with being a footstool to a person, to want to be with a person like that, right? And then my whole question is, because I do believe all of these things about him, because I've had these same comments and these same notions every time something bad about him came up, when he got arrested, when all of this other stuff was happening. I just never understood, especially when it came to that revenge stuff. I just never understood exactly why Carlos King will not let this man go. You have other bigger reality shows on bigger networks who will let a person go for the slightest thing, regardless of if they're still in contract or whatever. They will let them go for the slightest thing. But you literally see somebody that is actively showing signs of abuse, actively tormenting one of your coworkers or your former castmates or employees, whatever, and you're not going to do anything to reprimand or to, you know, kind of put a stop to it or whatever, or to stop rewarding this bad behavior. You're rewarding the bad behavior by letting him stay on the damn show. Truth be told, he should have been gone. He should have been gone. And that just tells me that Carlos King, he's not a good person. I don't give a good goddamn how much the girls want to fawn over him, and, you know, the little stuff that he gave us that was kind of cute. That it says a lot about his character. Your moral integrity, your moral compass is gone, because at the end of the day, what you're showing is that you're all about the dollars and you're all about the views and the ratings and all that stuff, and you would do any and everything and put people in jeopardy just so that you can have a show. A hit show. And I don't even know if the ratings still doing good or not, because the last time I heard, like last season's, the ratings really wasn't there. So what are we doing this for? why are we continuing to reward this man? Because you feel like this is what's going to draw people in. So, like, it's just disgusting. And he disgusting. And Ariana going to find out one way or another. Truth be told, she probably already finding out. And, you know, she put so much in it to try to get that man. And so she going to do what she got to do to stay, regardless of going through the bullshit. Bitch, you can never get me to be with somebody, especially publicly, that called me a goddamn peasant, to have the fact that he was in a relationship with me while he was married. Because that's literally what it was. You was in a relationship with her while you was married. Let's just call a thing, bitch. Okay? You had a wife and a girlfriend. That's just really what it was. But the fact that he's still a thing, that's just really disgusting. But anyway, moving on from that. Karen Huger got out of jail, y'all. I think Karen Huger was supposed to be doing, she had got sent, okay, for those that don't remember, Karen, the Grand Dame of Potomac, okay, she had Real Housewives of Potomac, if you don't know. She had got sentenced to 2 years in prison, or I should say 2 years in jail. One of the years was a suspended year, so therefore she only had to do 1 year, I believe. And she had got a fine of $2,900 and 5 years probation. You know, she got out early for good behavior. I think she did just about 6 months. Okay. She did just about 6 months. And truth be told, I thought she was going to get out by next year. All right. Or at least at the end of this year. No, mama got out recently. She got out actually on the 2nd, which was Tuesday, right after Labor Day. You know, it's a lot of mixed reactions or whatever. Honestly, am I upset that she out early? No, because, you know, she played her part. She did what she had to do to get out. She did the rehabilitation programs in there. You know, she was on good behavior, so they let her out for, you know, because you did all that shit, right? Okay, but my thing is, I want her to learn her lesson. Because sometimes you can have a person go through stuff like this and they still a mess up. This is not your first, this is not your second, this is not your third, but this was your 4th DUI. And therefore, if they were to have given her I really feel like they took it way light on her. They took it way light on her. I don't know why they did, but they took it way light. And I don't give a good goddamn if the lady is in her 60s or what. You have got to pay the consequences for when you step your foot onto a gas pedal and your blood alcohol level is through the roof. Okay? To the point where you are in an interrogation calling yourself Thomas Jefferson's concubine. I never forget when she told, listen, it's Ray good. I seen the video when she came out. Well, we ain't see when she actually came out, but when she was driving away, my thing was Ray back there in that car with her. I want to see how Mr. Raymond is doing, okay? And it was a video that came out of her, you know, already glammed up and all that stuff. Come to find out that was an old video or whatever. That wasn't from when it actually, when she actually came out. Because I was about to say, God damn, Karen, we already stepping. But no. That really wasn't it. And so I really hope she learns. I really hope she learns. And I didn't realize there was a lot of people that don't really like Karen like that. But you know what? She truly did disappoint me. She truly did disappoint the hell out of me. When I found out, it's one thing, like, I don't like it when people put people's lives in jeopardy, especially their own. Like, okay, if you don't care about your own life, that's one thing. But, you know, think about the people around you. You know what I'm saying? When you get in trouble, you affect everybody. You don't affect just yourself. You affect your family, your friends, the people that you did the offense to, whatever. You affect all of that, right? And so to find out that this was her 4th, bitch, all sympathy or whatever, empathy or apathy, I don't know. All of that went out the window. That's why I was like, just take her ass to jail because she needs to learn. She needs to learn. All right. But yeah, Karen is out, and I'm pretty sure Bravo about to do the same thing that they did for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because they've already, you know, I'm pretty sure they're already filming the season, probably already done, because the trailer has come out for the season, the new season of Real Housewives of Potomac. Looks like it's gonna be decent. Got 2 new girls. Listen, I don't know. I don't know. But we'll see how that goes. And maybe Karen will do a pop-up in the last couple of episodes, okay? Back, that type of situation. The same way that they did with Phaedra in the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But we shall see. We shall see. Moving on from that. Oh my God, why am I so... Something bit me on my arm. That's what it is. I wait till the end of the goddamn summer to get a mosquito bite. That don't make no goddamn sense. But what else is going on? That man that's in office, he's still here. Listen, oh my God, let me tell you something. If you do not have social media, and when I mean by social media, I know we can't stand a motherfucker, but bitch, listen, I can't give up X. Or that was the first time I ever called that shit that. I can't give up Twitter. Okay, because Twitter is baby, we be laughing and we be joking and we be going through it on that thing. It be so fucking hilarious when shit like this happens. Bitch, I was up in here minding my own business. I was barely on social media for a few days until I looked randomly, and it was literally like at the end of the night. And I had looked, and I'm like, why am I seeing all these tweets about whether or not this man is still alive or nothing, or something is going on, and Walter Reed is blocked off, and, Melania is up there, and what is this, and all this stuff, and we haven't heard from him in a couple of days, and all this. Bitch, I don't keep up with that man. Okay, I don't keep up with him. I don't care, So I was just like, oh, me, I try to pay a dust. Because when y'all, I just get into my mind. If I want something so bad, and when people want something so bad, when y'all keep heavily focusing on it, it ain't gonna happen. You gotta act like you nonchalant to it. So I just look, I said, oh, let me just keep on scrolling. And then part of me was like, this is all for shits and giggles for some people because y'all already know it ain't gonna happen. And truth be told, if something would have happened to that man, I do not think they would have came out and said that he either was gone or he was sick or something like that. They would have hit that shit, okay? They would have hit it as long as they could, just so it can make it seem like he still got the power and he ain't even here. I really feel like they'll do some stuff like that. But unfortunately, he still... That is so wrong. It sounds so bad. And you know what? There are some people that's out there that feel some type of way about the fact that people were wishing death on it? Is that what it was? I mean, I didn't do it, but I wouldn't have been sad if that was what it was. Okay? I wouldn't have rejoiced and I wouldn't have been sad. I wouldn't have felt nothing. That's how I am, okay? Because I don't want nobody to wish that on me, but at the same time, if they did, I would understand if I was a terrible person or if I had done something to them previously in the past, And so I would expect that. But... and then they go block out talking about, so he had to do a press conference on a Tuesday, which was yesterday, I believe, at 2:00. Girl, I had forgot all about it. And then when I didn't even go look and see. I don't know what it was about. I just know he was actually there. I said, oh, so this really him? Okay. And the clip that I did see was when he said, so... y'all really thought he was dead, like, just because he wasn't here and doing nothing for a couple of days. Now, when Biden, ain't nobody see him, ain't nobody do all of this for him and all. I said, you know what? He has to bring up the competition in his eyes. Like, you won, you got it. Why do you keep bringing up the past? Why do you keep comparing yourself? You must really like these people, okay? And you must really expire? Nope, that's mean it's done. It's over. It's spoiled. Aspire? Girl, you really want to be like them. You want to be their friend. That's just what it was. Bitch, I'm really tripped up because in my head I know the word and it's not coming out. Oh my God, y'all ever had that? What is that called? You aspire to be like him. There you go. Aspirations. What is your aspirations in life? Oh, that is funny. He likes them. That's just what it is. And he wants them to be his friends. That's why he keep on calling. It gives very much like how they say when little boys and little girls be growing up and they be up in school and the little boy be, messing with the little girl and calling her names or whatever, and it's because technically, so they say that because they like the little girl. That's what it's giving. Every time he brings up Biden, every time he brings up Barack, that's just really what it is. He wants to be their friend. But that is funny. Somebody said, now I see why, even though I'm not here for him, but I get why y'all the Republicans used to do that shit about Joe, because it's fun. I said, you know what? People are ridiculous. People are ridiculous. And literally on Twitter, don't come to social media for some serious shit. You can come for a little bit, but when stuff like this, baby, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. All of the anticipation went out the window, and I'm pretty sure as soon as they saw him walk up to that podium, they was like, God damn. Shit. It was probably that. But yeah, he's still here, and did gonna take away VP's took away her I was about to say Social Security. Her security. She about to go on a book tour, right? She's about to go on a book tour, and he took away her security. I said, God damn. Now I know they supposed to be granted it for a certain amount of time, and I believe Biden had extended hers for a little bit, but he took that shit away. He is so fucking petty. On the one hand, bitch, I can't believe that I'm about to say this. On the one hand, he's an asshole. He's a terrible person. Okay, look at my shirt, bitch. Did I stretch it out or something like that? What the fuck is going on? When you put it on a hanger and it's wet, that's what it is. Cause I don't dry. I air dry my permanents. I don't put, cause listen, bitch, we ain't got time for shit shrinking in the dryer. Okay, so that's probably what it is. But anyway, on the one hand, he's a terrible person. I would never give him his tens. No, I could never. I could never be like, oh, he did that. No. But on the other hand, one thing I can appreciate is the fact that bitch is petty as fuck, and I do the same damn thing. Hear me out. If I don't fuck with you, bitch, I'm gonna let you know it. The way he be talking about people, bitch, I do the same damn thing, okay? It just gives that, but at the same time, I don't want to give him too much. You see how it ain't nothing good. I don't want to give him too much because he don't deserve it. Is that, mom popping up? But anyway, that's what was going on up in politics. I'm so clocked out of politics at this point. Like, it's just exhausting. I don't know how people, and I be looking at people, I follow a couple of people who do political commentary, and that's literally what their whole niche is, and their whole contents and everything. It just seems so stressful to do that day in and day out, and to be arguing back and forth and trying to put, it's just a lot. It's just a lie, and I ain't got time for it. I don't want to be angry all the time. I mean, I see stuff, and I be like, that ain't it. And then I want to say something, but it's like, what's the purpose? Because it's not going to go in. They already got it made up in their mind that that's what they feel, that's what they think, and it is what it is. So I just let the political people have it, okay? Make sure y'all vote in the midterm so we can change some shit around. I'm going to just put that out there. Okay, we want to see a change. Go ahead and vote in these midterms election that's coming up soon. So let's do that. Moving on from that, let's get to some entertainment stuff. First of all, sad news though, but I pray he gonna be okay. Montel Jordan. Am I young? Okay, yeah, I got it right. Sometimes them songs be sounding the same, but yeah, little Montel Jordan. Montel Jordan has aged so well. He is a good-looking man, okay, with his little fedora on, his little head, his little glasses, and his little goatee and all that stuff. But he gave his life to Christ, so that's beautiful. Y'all remember that he came out in 2024 and told us that he had stage 1 prostate cancer. He had undergone treatment to basically remove the prostate and to get the cancer out. Baby, he was cool for almost a year. And he revealed that he got it back. They went to do some testing, like the annual screening and stuff like that, to check up on it, and come to find out it's still some cancerous cells and stuff inside his body. I just, no scandals. No scandals, at least not that I can think of recently or even in the past. And if so, baby, we don't care. And they probably really wasn't that big. Like, the good people be getting the fucked up end of the stick, and it really be bothering me. And the way that he delivered his information, I think he was on one of these morning shows or whatever, morning news shows, and he just has a good head on his shoulder and positive attitude with it. And I really, really pray that he make it through and he gets through this, and you go back into remission. They find out a way to get it out or whatever. I really hope so. He's a good dude. Meanwhile, this whole situation, y'all went to the Breezy Bowl. I feel like the people that went to the Breezy Bowl would be the same people that'll go to an R. Kelly show if he get out of jail. That's neither here nor there. I know y'all be like, damn, Ashley, can you stop doing that shit? I gotta throw my little shots here and there. I still like y'all though. But it is what it is. But moving on from there, I ain't even finna do that. Listen, I will have to say that it is fucked up, the shit that y'all been going through. No matter how I feel, bitch, regardless, if you pay your money, I pay my money, they pay their money for a particular seat or whatever, and to get a certain amount of experience at a show, especially if it's your favorite artist or your, somebody that you really want to see and all that stuff. Bitch, I want to be able to come in and sit down in the seat that I paid for and be there at the time that I need to be there, and not be having to wait outside because my section is no longer there or my seat is no longer there, and it's a whole bunch of BS. I can't find parking and all this other stuff. The mess that I've been seeing, it's been like a hit or miss. And mind you, I have not been seeing anything negative about the show itself. The concert itself, that people have been saying it was a good show. Okay, cool. And I'm pretty sure that it was. But it's the getting there, people being not allowed to go to their seats and everything. I know it was a little bit of issue that was going on out here when he came to ring. Like, mind you, I didn't even know he came here until my coworker. Mind you, I just found out the nigga 50 years old. I said, what? He said, 50 years old. I said, nigga, stop playing. I thought he was younger than that. But, hey, good genetics. Yeah, he told me he went to the concert. And I was like, you went to the concert? And he said, yeah, because I wanted to go. And he was with this girl that it was like a little date or something. And the girl basically, it kind of sounded like she practically just put herself on there and said, listen, I'll go with you, even though he didn't plan on them going together, and he had already told her that he had plans. And she was like, okay, well, I'll find a ticket when I get there, like win a ticket or some shit like that. She ain't even get no ticket. He was able to get a ticket. I don't feel bad about it, and I don't think that it was wrong, because bitch, first of all, we're not dating. This is a first type of thing. This is my first time like going out with you. This really wasn't no date. You kind of added yourself onto the equation, and then you wanted to come on a whim and think that you was going to win some tickets or some shit like that. And he said somebody came up to him and was like, you want to buy these tickets? Or somebody was selling a ticket because one of their friends wasn't able to come. And so got a good, like, almost floor ticket for like $200 or some shit like that. I said, that's a good steal. And I said, so y'all enjoyed the concert? He said, I did. She was in the parking lot. Because his reason was, this wasn't no date. And what I look like buying, and even if it was for a first date, we going on a Chris Brown, like, I'm finna bag you no. And then it's a possibility we not even gonna talk again after this. He said, that girl ain't called to me. Bitch, I would have did the same thing on both ends, okay? One, I'm not spending that money on you because, girl, who the fuck are you at this point? I don't know you like that yet, okay? To want to spend these big bucks on you. And two, if I was the girl, no, we're not talking again, because why would you do that to me? Why would you do that to me? But three, girl, ain't nobody tell you to add yourself. He was being nice by that, okay? And why would you think that you was going to be able to, girl, anyway. So yeah, people was complaining about that, complaining about obstructive views and all of this stuff, whatever that was going on. And then the only thing that Chris Brown finally came out and said was, Team Breezy, I see y'all reviews about the difficulties at some of the venues with the parking, the seating, etc. Hope y'all understand this is my first stadium tour. So I don't know if the people in charge of that in the cities realize the capacity I would bring out. Some cities ran smooth. This is the first time I've ever been in these venues. Appreciate y'all concerns. Unfortunately, I'm not in charge of that. Other than that, my shit fired. And whenever they cancel meet and greets, it's usually due to something security wise or me actually needing to rest or so that I don't burn myself out. Hope y'all understand. Bullshit. I'm so sorry. I was looking at some of the comments on because I got this off the Shade Room or whatever. I was looking at some of the comments and people, of course, was making up excuses for them and everything. I just feel like that excuse is bullshit and it really didn't give no like solution. Like, are you gonna do something? And for the people that had issues, did y'all get y'all money back? And I seen that it was, and because I was seeing the videos on TikTok or whatever and on Twitter, people were complaining about this whole situation, and especially when it comes to the ticket situation. And people was like, see, this is what happens when you buy for them third party things or whatever. And everybody was like, for the majority of the people, they said absolutely not. They got it from Ticketmaster. They got it from Ticketmaster. And truthfully, I'm not even going to put all of that on him because, yeah, it has been messing up. Because when we was going to the Cowboy Carter, I had been seeing some pictures and some videos of some people who brought their tickets or got a resold ticket from Ticketmaster. You would think everything would be okay because they reselling it on Ticketmaster and it'd be legit. And come to find out it wasn't because either they double sold it or whatever, or, some fucked up shit happened. So yeah, I hope Ticketmaster fix that shit, refund these people, and I hope these motherfuckers sue. I really do hope they take Ticketmaster out. Because Ticketmaster, baby, you have been fucking up for a minute. You have been messing up for a few years now, okay? And a big ass lawsuit needs to come to your way. And we all need to get a piece of it, okay? But also, I just didn't like the whole, I never been to these venues excuse or, maybe they wasn't ready for this type of capacity. It's a stadium. It's a stadium. You're not doing nothing that another big artist has already done. Taylor Swift be selling out stadiums. Beyonce be selling out stadiums. All these other artists like The Weeknd sells out stadiums and shit like that. All these it's a few more artists that be selling out stadiums. They are ready for the capacity that you bring. So don't make it seem like you just you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, just because this is your first time being in a stadium tour or your first time being in certain type of venues, this goes to show me, given the fact, and I hate to keep bringing this up because my girl would never do nothing like this, but she's seasoned. She's seasoned. But she's a stadium girl. This is like, well, how many goddamn tours she was in the stadium? Formation tour, both on the run tours, Renaissance. Was there something before Renaissance? And then Cowboy Carter. That's like five stadium tours. Okay? And you want to know what was going on? Motherfuckers kept up with every goddamn detail. With every fucking venue. You supposed to know the ins and outs and have a plan A, B, C, and D. Okay? And then if you feel like you're going to burn yourself out with the meet and greets, I hope they got their money back if they couldn't do the meet and greets because I'm pretty sure they paying at least $1,000 plus to do a meet and greet. And then all of a sudden that shit get canceled. Oh, bitch, what? And you talk about something, so I won't burn myself out? You're going to burn yourself out. Ain't nobody tell you to be up there on that stage doing all them goddamn flips. Okay? Because that's literally what you do. You be flipping all over that goddamn stage. Ain't nobody tell you to do all that. Take a little bit of that down, okay? And give these people a picture. Give these people a picture, bitch. Okay? But I ain't going to go too hard on Mr. Christopher. All right? Like he said, this is a lesson learned type of situation. But it just felt really like, shit happens. Better luck next time. That's how that came off to me. Okay, you ain't gonna offer no solution. You ain't gonna offer and be like, well, damn, bitch, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Ticketmaster and all this shit and get this shit together and try to get y'all a refund if y'all didn't get a refund, or try to compensate y'all some type of way or whatever, send out some merch or some shit like that. It was just like, well, fuck it, bitch. I ain't never been to these venues and all this shit, so I ain't got nothing to do with it. And truth be told, you could and you should have something to do with it. But, you know, hey, lesson learned. That's why I go to certain people's shows. Don't eat me up in the comments. I'm like, you always talking about this, and you talking about that, and he this, and he that, and he that. I don't give a fuck. Alright, y'all, it is not nothing to be taken serious, because I know somebody is really hurt. Like, damn, bitch, every time. Mind you, I'm cool with somebody that's like the biggest Chris Brown fan. Like, so, you know, chill out. I just, okay. And speaking about other people, Cardi fucking B. Somebody said she is an SNL skit. She really is, and honestly, it's more like Mad TV. I feel like Mad TV is way funnier than SNL. We'll, you know, debate somebody else on that, but that's literally just what it is. She was at this court case, okay, because this ex-security guard, Imani Willis, I believe, or Imani Ellis, she was suing her, I guess, you know, saying that, I guess Cardi attacked her or some shit like that. Baby, the whole case was a fool and a half and a waste of goddamn time. Now, I know last week I said Cardi B began sued for shit that she probably would do and you could see her doing. Truth be told, yes. But in this case, after I went back and looked at some of the shit, I said, get the fuck up out of my face, okay? Get the hell up out of my face. Baby, I kind of just threw my hands up when she said she had to get, I don't know, the scar on her face or whatever from getting, what scar? They showed the picture. I said, bitch, what scar? Okay? And then when that other girl that was the receptionist got up there and said, no, she provoked that shit. She the one that was doing the shit. She hit first or some shit like that. So basically putting the blame on the ex-security guard and, you know, not Cardi. And then I guess the lawyer was just getting all up in his feelings. Now, the first time you was trying to throw shade about her hair and all that shit, because that's what it was. Now that we see how he been acting, that was some shady shit that he was trying to do when he said, well, your hair this time looks nice. Oh my God. It was like, is she a big bitch? She said, I mean, she looks security heavy, bitch. Why would you say some shit like that? Oh my God, she look like she can guard a building. And then when I see her, she chunky, she ain't that big. Okay, she full figure. You know what I'm saying? But Miss Imani, you lost that case. Okay? And I know damn well you did not think that you really was gonna get $24 million. And I know your lawyer got up there and said, I know that the people's been saying that it was $24 million, but that's not what it was that they were suing for. Girl, get your ass out of here. You weren't getting nothing. You wasted the people's time. You wasted the people's time, and you knew it. When the witnesses is coming up there basically saying that you was the one that was provoking shit, girl, you probably, you thought that you was going to be able to get a little easy paycheck. That's why all your peoples was showing up, because they thought they was about to get a little chunk of change too, and it just didn't happen. Now, moving on from that, Cardi, I need somebody to, you know, explain what the fuck is going on. Is it like her playing games or what? Because I seen the white t-shirt, the white suit that she had on, and I said, okay. Now, when Imaginary Players came out, and then she did that little video where she had the little, you know, leotard swimsuit on or whatever, the black, I said, is that a little poke? I paid no mind. But on that day when she came up there in that court with that white suit on, I said, and she walking a little slow. Man, I understand, you know, trying to, you know, keep your balance or whatever in your heels and all that. But I said, you look a little thick. Oh, okay. I'm not too sure. Then the other day, the last day, when she got out that car, I said, bitch, I know you not. You got an album coming out, and I know you're not pregnant, okay? And let me tell you this, Cardi, you got to keep your shit to yourself. Like, on the one hand, I'm not mad at you for throwing that marker at that man, but you literally just got out of court for being accused of assault. You got to stop it, sister, okay? Because, listen, you like court. Obviously, it's a pastime for you. Okay, you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait to just cuss his ass out on Twitter or some shit like that, or do a TikTok video. You literally, because understandably, what you said was correct. He was disrespectful as fuck for that comment, because that's not even here nor there. Why are you asking about a paternity of a child, whether it's Offset or Stephon Diggs or whatever? That's not anything dealing with what the case is about. The case is about an assault that happened allegedly to this security guard. That is what it's about. But at the same time, you, of all people, should not be throwing shit at nobody. Because you know the girls like to sue. That's why you up in that bitch right now, okay? You got to keep your hands to yourself. You got to keep your hands to yourself. Bitches like me, I could pop a bitch. You can't in this point, because ain't nobody going to sue me. You ain't going to get shit. You probably try to press charges or whatever. I ain't going to go to jail for it. I just know that much. But hey, you can't be doing that shit. I know it's a little double standard, but that's literally just what it is, especially when you just got out of court for doing some shit like that. But she put that video up for that Bodega Baddies. Bodega Baddies? Bitch, first of all, bitch, you should have put that song out early on into the summer, because that could have been a jam, okay? I could have been bumping that shit for real. But she was dancing, and then she took the jacket off, and it was this thing. I said, bitch, so is the belly fake or not? And if the belly is fake or whatever, what the fuck was the purpose? Bitch, that part don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me, okay? I mean, I get that you said, I am the drama, am I the drama, but is this part of the rollout to make y'all think, because the people was kind of infer whether or not you was pregnant or not, so let's play with it or whatever. I don't know. It's stupid if you ask me, if that's the case. No shade. But hey, and then to put out a new the courtroom edition of Am I the Drama, with the memes of her on there from when she was in court with the black hair. Bitch, are you serious? That bitch is unhinged and insane. But yeah, moving on from that, what else is going on? Tyrese, please leave Mary J. Blige alone. Actually, just leave us all alone, okay? Do not let us know anything that you got going on until it is actually finished and you are about to put out the date when it's supposed to be released. Because at this point in time, if Mary J. Blige was to put a restraining order against you, or file something and say that you're harassing her, she will be well within her right to. Because what was you trying to do? Y'all saw the videos that he put up, basically trying to say that, you know, he did reach out to Mary J. Blige. And I did see him putting this on social media. Like, if you got married people or whatever, let her know that I'm trying to do this song, but I want her on the song with me or whatever, because I got this album coming out. I love her. I love you. I'm a big fan and all of this stuff. You are everything. I ain't hear nothing else. Till now, when he put out there that basically Mary said no, and how hurt he is. I said, you know what? You putting this out on the internet to make her feel bad? No, it's just making you look stupid, okay? Everybody's not going to go ahead and give you what you want. You know, it could have been a time thing. It could have been a money thing. It could have been any reason. Like, she got to go through this whole situation with Misha. She's dealing with a lawsuit herself. Baby, she don't give a good goddamn about what's going on with you and your songs and all that stuff. Girl, I mean, sir, like, chill out. And then I seen he put up a video that was 26 minutes and he was on there crying. Then he put out another video that was like 50-something minutes. I said, absolutely fuck not. Tyrese, you got to stop making my Capricorn brothers look bad. Okay, you really got to stop doing that. All right, just take a fucking chill pill and leave us alone. And what happened to TGT? I thought y'all was coming back. Y'all thought, and y'all left it. Okay, moving on from that, Alsina got himself in a little bit of news, a little bit of controversy, and you know, He is with that boy because Zoo, what's his name? Z-U. That's how you say it, Zoo? Okay. He basically said Alsina is his boyfriend. He said that. That's his boyfriend because Alsina put a video, a post up or whatever. You know, I don't know if it was a birthday post or was it a birthday post to Zoo? And he was 22 years old. He's 22 now. And basically said that he been knowing him, or I don't know if it's with him or knowing him since for the past 5 years, make the last 5 years so good or some shit like that. Alsina is 32. So people been doing the math and basically was like, you was with this boy when he was underage, or at least you started talking to him when he was underage. And, you know, he come out trying to defend, both of them come out trying to defend the situation. And here's the thing, y'all probably would have been just better if you would have just kept your shit private. Because at this day and age, people are more aware of how things look, and especially in age gap relationships, especially when the age gap starts. Listen, because some people try to act like they don't know the difference between why an age gap relationship looks worse when it's somebody that's 32 years old fucking around with, or 27 at the time, okay, fucking around with somebody that's 17, versus somebody that's 40 something messing around with somebody that's 30 something. It's a maturity level, okay? It's a maturity level. One is literally underage. And Alsina, I keep on calling him by his last name, August. I don't care what you have to say. It gives very much predatory vibes, okay? Because we cannot sit here and pick and choose about these age gap relationships. You know, it looks weird. It looks very predatory and all of that. All of that. And especially, like, this is something that goes on, unfortunately, in the gay and lesbian community. There are older lesbians, older gay men that prey on the younger ones, okay? It's literally some dude that literally just goes, I've been seeing it on my timeline. They be on Bigo, and I don't even know how y'all be over there on that, but he literally only goes after, he's probably like 40 or damn near 40, and he only goes after like 18 to probably 20-year-olds. Grown their asses, okay? Be having them tattoo his name on them and all of that shit. And then once they get to a certain age, that he's not attracted to them. And I just don't understand. How do you allow yourself, like, you don't feel weird being with someone that you ain't got no, that has no life experience? That's not weird to you? I can't be with somebody that's 5 years younger, and that's even pushing it. That's even pushing it. When it gets to a double digit, bitch, absolutely no. And I don't even care if I'm 40 and they're 30. No, I will not. I can't. And if I do, you know, and he said that, and both of them said that, you know, Zoo, he basically kind of lied to him about his age or whatever. Either way, he lied to you about his age and he told you what it really was. Once you found out, you still decided to pursue the relationship. That's not a good look in my eyes. Maybe other people will give you a pass about that. It's still not a good look in my eyes, because once I find out, baby, I'm out of this bitch, because you're not finna catch me up on something. All right? That'll instantly turn me the fuck off. Okay? And then some people you can look at and they just seem so young. All right, I don't like a young acting person. And when I say young acting, meaning like you act like a goddamn child. You act like you a 16-year-old. You could be 30-something. You could be 40-something, but you act like a goddamn 16-year-old and not being like you're fun or whatever, but mentally, that's where you're at. Bitch, that's not attractive at all. Okay? So therefore, I will never be with somebody that is actually that actual age. No. All right? Listen. You have to be a good, listen, as far as I can go, I can probably go 5 years. And even then, I still feel yucky about it. So, you know, truthfully, I just don't want nobody that's like, I'm almost 40 and you 30. No. I can't. Okay, but it does come out predatory. It like, we just looking at again, we just can't pick and choose. We can't pick and choose, okay? And again, August, y'all was better off just keeping your relationship private. All right, let the people speculate. We already knew what it was. We knew that y'all was in a relationship. Okay, kudos to y'all to admitting it, but you know, it is what it is. You knew people, this was inviting people in more, and now judging, because now I'm judging. And then I seen something where somebody said he was in a relationship with him, or he liked him because he reminded him of his brother that passed away or some shit like that. And you know, the trauma that I was like, what? I wouldn't want to be with nobody that remind me or look like my brother or my family member. That's kind of incestuous. And I get the trauma behind it because you miss them or whatever, but no, if that was true, baby, we need to go to therapy. We need some psychological healing going on, okay? Because it ain't right. It ain't right. But you know, y'all just like it because it look good. Hey, it is what it is. But moving on from that, what else was going on? I literally got Trump ain't dead. Y'all was really waiting for that man to go. What? Mariah Carey was on Casanat. Now, when I seen that shit come past my timeline and said that she was supposed to be on there, I said, what? I said, huh? I thought it was a lie. I thought it was like some fake flyers. Somebody made some fake shit, some little AI shit. Because, you know, that's going around real tough these days, okay? You just can't never know. But no, she was actually on there. And I get that streaming is, you know, these streamers and stuff, this is kind of like the new wave these days, this time in the age. I get that. I get Casanet's popularity and all of that, but I just don't understand Mariah Carey going on there, and for what reason? For what reason? Like, I get it that she has an album to come out soon, later this month, right? I know she's getting a Video Vanguard Award this Sunday at the VMAs, but my whole thing is, if you were looking, and I'm just looking and I'm thinking logically, okay? If she, and it's unfortunate that you have to be like this, but the kids and the people who watch Casanet are younger people, you know, probably a little bit of an incels, you know what I'm saying? So they really don't give a fuck about women or some shit. Or, you know, motherfuckers that just want to hear about nigga shit, you know what I'm saying? But mostly it's a younger people, a younger viewing audience, right? I get that she probably, I don't know, maybe the thought pattern was you get on here and this would be like, you know, trying to get to or appeal to a younger audience or whatever. Baby, these motherfuckers probably can't tell the difference between Mariah Carey and Mariah the Scientist these days. And I just didn't see the point. I didn't see the point. Did I sit there and watch it? Absolutely not. I didn't see the point. Okay? Because you're not going to get no new people come in that's going to make a difference. Because unfortunately it's an age thing. You're an older artist, you know, and I just felt like she didn't need that because it was very pointless. And somebody said, yeah, well, it works more for Casanet. It don't do nothing for him either, because that's not what his viewers are tuning in for. And then the people that tune in just for that particular interview or whatever, they're not going to tune back in for anything else unless it's somebody that they truly want to see, or if they really into that already been, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not hating. I'm just trying to understand the logic of it. Like, you know, he doing his thing, and I get that, you know, the people trying to, but let me just put this out here. When it comes to Mariah Carey, I ain't got no problem with her doing it. It just didn't make sense. But here's the thing with Mariah Carey likes to be around the niggas anyway. So that's one thing that I loved about that bitch. You know, she ain't never really put it out there like, we know she biracial, she half and half, but she not one of them biracials that be like, let you know that she biracial like that, and she play up on that shit, or she favor, you know, one, you know, that white side and all that shit, or she'll play the white, you know what I'm talking about. No, that lady like to be with the niggas, okay? You go back through her history. Oh yes, and that's one of the things that I really love about Mariah. But I'm already looking forward to her album. I really do hope she do good. But in this day and age, who knows? But yeah, I mean, it was. I guess it was cute. I just wouldn't have thought that she would be on something like that. I mean, Kim Kardashian was on the other thing. Was the other guest the day before, I guess. Kim Kardashian got shit going on right about. Imagine she probably got businesses. Well, she do got businesses or whatever, but she didn't need it. That probably would have helped him, because unfortunately I feel like people would, go up more so for Kim Kardashian than Mariah Carey these days, and that's fucked up. That's fucked up. But that's just really how it is. But anyway, y'all tell me how y'all felt about that. Did y'all watch it? Was it good? How do y'all feel? Porsha, baby, that fat meat greasy, huh? You finding out all about it, bitch. Listen, no shade, because I still like Porsha, but baby, we gotta call a thing a fucking thing. You really thought you was finna be up here, living a good life with this Nigerian man, okay? With your little African men that you know that you was trying to be just like Shamir. Girl, now he leaving you with debt. Now he not paying you stuff that you supposed to be owed. Girl, she had to file documents in the court requesting that the judge make him pay. He has not paid his financial obligations following their divorce. She claims that he still owes $667,359.55. And this is covering attorney fees, alimony, marital resident costs, property taxes. Bitch, I don't know what to tell you. Because honestly, he over there in Dubai. And I don't know, can they enforce him to do some shit? I don't know. Porsha, I mean, hey, sister. I'm so sorry. Like, what do you want us to say? What do you want us to say? You wanted this life, you got the life and the consequences that come with it, okay? That's what happens when you take another bitch man, okay? Oh my God, let me stop. But yeah, he said, bitch, you thought you was gonna get something? Try me. And that motherfucker I hate to say it, but he is a scammer. No shade. And not to put the stereotype, but that's what he scammed his way into the United States multiple times to stay here for years, okay? So yeah, he know a thing or two. And I really feel like at this point, Porsha, you can kiss that money goodbye. I feel like, and if you do get it, it's going to be a while out. It's going to be a while out, okay? But yeah, good luck, sister. Moving on from that, Brittany Renner, I don't know how y'all made this whole popular, okay? Or why she's even... I hate when people try to do stuff to shame another person and it backfires on them. Because that's exactly what happened in this situation. I wasn't here for the relationship that she had with this boy, but it's named P.J. Washington. Because basically you got knocked up by him for a check. That's just all that it is. Let's call a thing, right? The relationship didn't work out, okay? But you were left with a baby. Y'all had that financial struggle and all that stuff. And then you get up here, your mom is recording you getting a baby to him, and the baby is crying. He's like, he does this all the time, and woo. And then every time you come here, and I'm going to record it. And okay, this the third time he's done this, and he just don't want to go with you. And, she was like, just show up and all this shit. Well, he's a basketball player, so I'm pretty sure he's not going to be able, and I'm not even trying to make excuses for him, but he a basketball player, which means that he probably traveling a lot. You ain't got shit else to do, so you could probably bring the baby over there to where he's at, so he could see him a little bit more. He could probably put a little bit more effort in there. But the part that got me was either her or the mama said, because you over there buying this bitch over there, your hoe, $170,000 worth of Chanel and all this shit, and your baby only got $11,000 in his bank account. What? First of all, that's his wife. And 9 out of 10, the way that they put it out there, like the baby only got $11,000 in the bank account, it probably was more, because she just gives me that she probably was spending it. And I hate to even say that, because y'all know I'm usually like, I on the niggas, getting in the niggas' ass. But it's Brittany Renner. And you just don't know what the fuck to trust with her, okay? The bitch fake being a goddamn Muslim for 6 months. That's just really was. And I don't like when people play with people's religion like that. And I get trying to try things out or whatever, but I just feel like the way she went about that shit was totally disrespectful. Okay. It wasn't real. Even if she want to try to say that it wasn't real, you know. This whole filming him and doing all this shit, you really got with that man for a check. And you showed that it was just all about the money because you keep on bringing up money. And then you're upset at the fact that he is not with you, but he has moved on and got married to somebody else. And then when he said, suck my dick, and then the mama said, you know, what did you say? He said, you heard me. It was like, suck my dick. And he was like, you got to have one to suck one or some shit like that. And I'm like, obviously he did because he got your daughter pregnant. And to know that she's biracial too. I just don't like her. I don't like her. And that's why when I was looking, because I do look at basketball wives here and there. I haven't looked at everything. But I do remember when they said that she was going to be on there. I said, what the fuck was her purpose on there? Why would you put her on there? Now, granted, I already knew the show was going downhill in the first place, right? Technically speaking, the show should be gone. But hey, I'm not in charge. But then I said, oh, y'all scrapping for the bits and y'all trying to get new viewers in because why the hell we got Brittany Renner on here? What the fuck does she do? Okay? It ain't called Baby in Basketball. It's called Love in Basketball. She ain't with nobody. But, you know, I just don't see it for her. I never saw it for her. Never will see it for her. Didn't understand it. And see, this is what happened. And I hate to dog her out like this. This is what happened when you get a hoe pregnant. Y'all niggas be stupid. These bitches be playing y'all asses left the fucking right. And y'all just let them. Just dumb as fuck. So who the fuck are we really mad at? Him or her? Because at this point, bitch, you got yourself in this situation. I'm talking about him. Okay? But hey, y'all both fucked up, to be quite honest. Moving on from that. Also, speaking of shows, Jeremiah is going to be on a new season of Love and Hip Hop Miami. Bitch, girl, I guess Love and Hip Hop is just never going to end. Love and Hip Hop is never going to end. Okay? Because they just keep adding and adding and adding. I'm like, God damn, Jeremiah birthday 6? Oh, okay. I didn't know you was down in Miami. You left Chicago? Oh, all right, cool. Moving on from that. Kayla Bumpus. Pull up to my bumper, baby. Listen, she was one of the defense attorneys on that YSL case, right? She fucked around and started fucking one of the goddamn co-defendants, okay? And now they pregnant. Now they goddamn pregnant. Bitch, I feel like she should be disbarred for that. Something, I don't know. I mean, he got off too. And not saying that she was the reason that he got off, but at the same time, I'm just saying that just don't seem right. I wouldn't want to be, I don't want her as my defense attorney because she fucked the clients. No shade. But listen, you know, sometimes shit happens. Y'all be up at work and y'all be fucking around with people at work. I could never do no shit like that. If I was to do something like that, they wouldn't have to date because, well, they really would be at another location because ain't nobody in my location that I'm remotely attracted to, or they already in relationships, or they men. Okay? No. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It just feels like that'd be so messy. That's why I could be hearing, you know, the stories about motherfuckers be fucking around in the call center and shit like that, and in the warehouse and all that shit. First of all, it sounds fun. It sounds fun because I can get the gossip. You know what I'm saying? But me actively and participating in that, no, I just couldn't do it. It just, I don't like that type of mess in my life. You know what I'm saying? And then, what if it don't work out and I got to see this bitch every fucking day I come up here? What? No. That seems really, really messy. But, yeah. Let's just talk about real quick, because first of all, a little update on Lil Nas X. They did the toxicology report on him, and they said when he was going through his thing, walking down Ventura Boulevard in his tighty whities and his white cowboy boots, and he hit that cop, and they put him in jail. And they went, and first they took him to the hospital because they thought he was doing a little drug overdose. I told y'all it wasn't no drug overdose. He ain't had no drugs in his system, and he was not drunk. He literally had a psychotic break, okay? And it happens. It happens, you know? So I really hope he's doing okay. I hope he's getting the help that he needs. This whole situation with Tamar, another update. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, I know I already put a video up there. Who the fuck is this? Hold on. I don't know who this is. I don't even want to respond to it. Don't send somebody. If what? That's nothing. That's nothing. I don't know what that is. Y'all know people be trying to scam. Y'all got to be careful if somebody send you an email that don't look right. If somebody send you a text message that don't look right. People really still be getting scammed by like text messages saying that you owe this or whatever, especially like the tolls. And it's like, do y'all not look at where the sender is at? If you owe something for the tolls, or if you missing a package or something like that and you didn't pay for it or something like that, they're not going to send you a text message like that. You know what I'm saying? And if they do, it's not going to have all them goddamn numbers and letters in it. Right? Okay? Delete that shit and block it. All right? That's what y'all do. Don't respond to it. Block that shit for real and delete it. Okay? Quit getting scammed out here. But no, the little update with Tamar. That bitch is a liar. She's a liar. Shit don't make sense. And she had this so-called dentist. She could be a dentist. Step out, put up a video and basically say, you know, the whole situation that happened with her teeth and all of that stuff. You know, within 24 hours of it happening, she contacted my team out here in Miami. Mind you, this stuff happened in Atlanta. Follow me, because this is why I say no. And this is why everybody else is saying no. Okay? If something did happen, it did not happen within this week. Or the week that, you know, when she posted that shit. Okay? It probably happened a while ago. You know what I'm saying? But in this sense, it's not making sense. The timeline don't even add up. And she can't even keep her goddamn timeline straight. The dentist say she came down there to Miami, emergency session in Miami, to look at her teeth and all that shit within the last 24 hours. The 24 hours that this whole incident happened, right? They show pictures. Never show her actual face. Just show mouth and some gums. And for somebody, like if I fall and I fuck up my face, I just feel like even if only 4 teeth came out, my bottom row would not look as if nothing happened to it. It feels and it seems as though your bottom row probably would have a little bit of trauma to it too, even though you probably didn't knock those teeth out, but it'll probably be a little swollen because you probably fell on that too, but it probably be a little loose or whatever, but you know, it probably didn't fall out. That bottom row didn't look like nothing happened to it, okay? That top row did not look like her mouth. It wasn't. So there's that. The face wasn't ever in there. And I got, oh my God, I wish I could say what I know. But, damn it. This is why I just wish I could say what I know for a fact. And this is why I'm very much certain that this is not what it is. So you go down to Miami to get your shit done in 24 hours of this whole incident happening, right? That doesn't make sense. Why? Because when Funky Dineva was retelling his story, he said the next morning when you woke up and you said that you had lost 4 teeth or whatever, you was asking him what was Dr. Heavenly's phone number. Okay? Getting that, and if you would have stuck with that, we probably would have been onto something. Okay? We probably would have been, you know, a little bit believing, because Dr. Heavenly is, regardless of how she acts, she's a good dentist. I've seen her work and it's really, really good. And I've seen her put implants in, and I've seen her do all of that specialty shit, right? Also, why would you fly to another state instead of just going ahead and getting that shit done? I'm pretty sure you got a family dentist. I'm pretty sure you got your own personal dentist, and you didn't trust them, and the person that did your veneers, you couldn't do that, and they couldn't get you to a specialty right there. But then you also say in your live on TikTok that's been going around, the clips that have been posted or whatever, that, when it's especially concerning Funky Dineva's issue, that you didn't put out anything to, quell down the allegations against him, which all you had to do was post it. You didn't even have to say nothing. You could have just posted like you did the post that you deleted. You said that you was in a hospital for 5 days, or almost 5 days. You was in Northside Hospital. She said, call up there, ask them. They'll tell you. You can't do that, okay? You cannot do that. That's a HIPAA violation. So, no, you cannot do that. But was this 5 days after you came back from Miami? Or was this 5 days before you went to Miami? Which one is it? It doesn't make fucking sense, okay? And then, on top of that, what really fucked it up for everybody, you also said that you had a fractured nose. Your nose looked the goddamn same. You was up in there, she was up there giving her, doing her makeup or whatever, and ain't no amount of makeup, especially on a lighter skinned person or lighter toned person, that's gonna hide bruises. You fuck up anything in this area, it's gonna be bruised. You're going to see it. It's going to be black. It's going to be blue and red and dark red and all that shit, especially in the healing process. Anytime you get a surgery done, so something up in this area, where it's sinus surgery, where it's a deviated septum surgery, whether you had to crack that bitch and get a nose job, that's why you see it bruised up here. And I've seen when people get hit up in their face and it get bruised or whatever, and the motherfuckers try to put the makeup on there and it don't really have much. There was no bruising on that bitch body. And that's all I'm going to say. You take that how you want to, okay? Moving on from that, I don't care who the fuck tell it. All right? The last thing I want to get into, not so much because, girl, what? This whole situation with Young Thug. Jeffrey, what is your problem? Baby... The way the table have turned on this motherfucker, okay? The way they sat up there and tried to make it seem like Gunna was such a rat and all this shit because he took an Alfred plea. He didn't snitch on nobody. The only thing truly that he really did say was that YSL was a gang. Is that not a lie? But okay. I would have took a plea too, bitch. That Alfred plea means, yeah, I did this shit, but... I don't want to plead guilty to it or whatever, but let me look it up because it's something along those lines. What? Nope. It's a type of guilty plea where a defendant maintains their innocence while acknowledging that the prosecution has enough evidence to convict them at trial. It allows a defendant to accept a plea deal and its benefits such as a reduced charge or sentence without having to admit to a crime that they didn't commit. So therefore, the defendant explicitly states they did not commit a crime. The defendant acknowledges that the prosecution has evidence that is substantial enough for a conviction. It is a choice to avoid a trial and its potential for a harsher sentence or a conviction. It functions as a guilty plea, meaning that the conviction will be on the defendant's record and can be used in future civil cases. Why a defendant may enter an Alfred plea, trials are expensive and emotionally draining. To avoid the risk of conviction and other severe sentences if found guilty at the trial, a traditional guilty plea can be used as an admission of fault in a subsequent civil lawsuit. An Alfred plea allows the defendant to resolve their criminal case without providing this damning evidence for a civil trial. And the defendant may believe that taking the plea deal is in their best interest, even if they are innocent. So therefore, he didn't do nothing. He didn't have to snitch on nobody. He didn't do nothing. The only thing that I truly feel like he did was this, confirmed that it was a goddamn game. And so because of that, and he got home, people want to call him a rat or whatever. I don't play by that shit. The only ones that I really, because it's like, now y'all want to hold him to the fire and don't want to, but y'all will still be rocking with 6ix9ine. He's the biggest rat out there, to be quite honest. Y'all still let him rock. I mean, we did call him a rat or whatever, but it's still motherfuckers that were still working with him. So, and we know he ratted, right? You got your own father saying that Gunna wasn't a rat, Jeffrey. I'm talking about you. And yeah, you got all your boys, you got Lil Baby, you got 21 Savage and all these people, whatever. They want to call him a rat and all this shit. I'm never working with him again and woo woo woo. Don't even talk to me about him. Meanwhile, Gunna gets out. Gunna goes about his day, his life, gets him shape. That motherfucker done got in shape. He has a running club going on. Put out a couple of albums that have done extremely well. Okay? And people have actually liked them. You, on the other hand, finally get out. You got this 15-year probation. You can't go to Atlanta without permission or some shit like that. You can't be around certain people. And so you always throwing subliminals, throwing shady shots at Gunna, who's not paying any attention to you. He's out here flourishing. You're sitting there doing what? You came out of prison, you by the skin of your teeth. Yeah, you spent a couple of years up in that bitch. But at the end of the day, you ain't spent your whole life. Because you could have spent your whole life. You know what I'm saying? That's what they was gunning for. No pun intended. That's what they was gunning for, okay? They wanted you to be behind bars and never getting out. But instead of just relinquishing in the fact that, or relishing in the fact that you are out and you're able to, try to rebrand yourself, you could be, or, hone your skills and go ahead and give your fans what they want, you up here being a little bitch. The way that he has something to say about Kid Cudi getting up there on the stand at Diddy case and testifying against him or whatever, basically calling him a snitch. And it's like, how are you calling him a snitch in this type of case? And he's not even a street nigga. So what the fuck is you talking about? Second of all, he was subpoenaed, meaning that he had to come or he was going to go to jail himself. So what are you talking about? And this is about sexual abuse. This ain't no street shit. What are you talking about? Then you on a red carpet, Mariah the scientist trying to get her shine in. People are, giving her props and all this stuff, and you yanking her like you Ike. Okay? And then all of a sudden, bitch, I don't know who the fuck is mad at him, and I don't know why it's happening at this current moment, but bitch, all these goddamn phone call clips came out. They said this motherfucker was not in jail getting buff. He wasn't in jail trying to get his life right or find it. They said he didn't find Allah. He didn't get no prison muscles. That motherfucker was up in there having a time gossiping on the fucking phone. He was using up everybody goddamn minutes because all of these clips, and another clip just came out today. Another clip just came out probably like an hour or so before I got up on here. And I think it was him talking about Lil Durk. And how he was upset at Lil Durk, or he felt some way about Lil Durk not getting on his song or whatever. He felt like he moving funny or he just different or some shit like that. And I said, bitch, what? Then the before that, the shit, the clip about him being pissed off that Kendrick didn't get on his songs or whatever, give him a feature. And then saying, and that's why you will never be bigger than Drake. And Drake put a lot of niggas on and all this shit or whatever. Yeah, he put niggas on, but where them niggas at? Y'all seen old boy that did that going up on a Tuesday. They, and I hate when y'all do this. They found him working at a store or at a restaurant or some shit like that. And it's like, so the fuck what? The way that y'all will film someone and try to shame them. And don't say that you filming it because, oh my God, I can't believe it's you and I'm such a fan. It wasn't one of that. It's because you saw this person who had a hit song back in the day and his life got turned upside down because he got found out to be a gay man. And it's one of those situations where you're like, people will always say, I don't understand. Mind you, I'm not necessarily here for DL people, but I understand why they DL. And I understand why some people be closeted and it takes them a minute to come out. And now they have to hide who they are, especially in certain fields. And in the hip hop world, that's just what it is. And in the black community, that's just what it is. Even in other minority communities, that's just what it is. You have to hide who the fuck you are in order to get to where you need to go in certain fields. In the hip hop world, that is definitely what it is, okay? People be like, just go ahead and come out and ain't nobody gonna do nothing and we don't care about that. He did come out. He was forced out and career went absolutely no fucking where. Went nowhere. Now he's working in a restaurant or whatever the fuck. And y'all putting that out there as if that's supposed to be something that he's supposed to be ashamed of. He's making a fucking living for himself. He's providing for himself, right? He's working some way, somehow. He shouldn't feel ashamed about that. Okay? So you guys said, and what other niggas think he'd put on? Drake is barely holding on to himself, okay? Because Drake don't know how to take a fucking break and just let shit settle. Because you didn't charge your rep for a lot of people. The only people that's really okay with what he's doing with this lawsuit is his already there stance. That's just what it is. Other than that, you're fucking up hip-hop. You're fucking up hip-hop, to be quite honest, if you ask me. Because goddamn, suing because you lost the goddamn beef? Whoa, that's weird. That's punk shit, okay? Not going to black media because you lost the beef. That's punk shit, you know? Talking about that and basically going in on Kendrick, wound up talking about his cousin, Baby Keem, and all of that shit. And I don't want Kendrick to justify that with a goddamn response, okay? You know, it's like, and what is this allegiance? Like, they didn't, if Lil Baby don't do something or whatever, then they ain't gonna do something or some shit like this. I'm just sitting here like, this shit is weird as fuck. It's very high school, and it's giving very much Mean Girls, okay? Y'all are lame as shit. That's what it's giving. It's giving lame. And anybody that think that this is okay, bitch, they said that he's a motherfucking rat. They said he is the rat because I don't even know who he told on, what incident he told about. I know something about the Lil Wayne tour bus and all this shit. We all know about that, but him talking about it, I guess, I don't know. It's crazy. Motherfuckers calling him rats and shit. And the thing of it is, he could have took the Gunna approach. Gunna didn't really come online and try to explain why he took his plea and why he did what he did, if you want to consider him a rat. He didn't do that. You want to know what he did? He got into the studio, bitch. He got into the booth and put out some good music. That's just what he did. And people didn't give a fuck. Don't nobody give a fuck about this shit no more. When y'all let 6ix9ine still put out shit after he did what he did, bitch, it became a joke. It became a fucking joke. Y'all let 6ix9ine get to where he at. Mind you, he ain't nowhere now. But still, he's still out here. He's still out here. He still got a voice. What you... Listen. A rat is, it's a rat does. All of y'all motherfuckers be telling. And a lot of y'all would tell and probably have told on some shit if you was facing multiple years and not getting out ever. Bitch, I'm telling. Okay, that's why I can't be up in no shit like that, because I'm going to tell. Because I don't want to be up here. Fuck all of that, and I'm a civilian. I ain't in that street shit. Okay, it's too niggerish for me. Alright? Y'all be holding these codes a little bit too... You don't want to come home and see your kids? You would rather go ahead and do this and take a bid for another nigga than be at home raising your kids. That is crazy. That ain't crazy to you? That's crazy. And if you know, and mind you, that's just a little bit of a gist of some of the shit. Put it down in the comments if you have a thorough, more understanding of what's going on and why they calling him a rat or whatever. I just know the nigga just been talking so much on the goddamn phone. But you gotta remember, he was in jail, locked up or whatever for probably like, what, 2 years almost? Or 2 years at that? So the nigga ain't had nothing else to do. But I'm like, who is releasing all of this right now? It's like every other day something new is coming out. And again, it's the way that he's handling it. You getting online and you trying to explain yourself and all this shit and put it on this and put it on... No. At the end of the day, it's not making you look any better. It's not making you look any better. But that's all I got, you guys. Girl, this video just felt kind of lackluster. I don't know. Maybe I should have did this shit yesterday. It don't even, tomorrow. I don't know. It just like, you didn't even got to put it in the comments. It just feel like the vibe was off a little bit. Was it just me? But anyway, you know, I still had to give y'all something because I think was it last week? Last week I gave y'all a late video. Was it last week? I don't know. Either way, I don't want y'all to have to wait like that or whatever. So, but I really do feel a little bit like the vibe is off. Maybe I'm in my head a little bit because I ain't feel like this. Maybe mostly because it's the topics. It was the topics. And honestly, I haven't ate yet. I gotta stop doing this, bitch. That's probably what it is. I ain't got the energy that I need. I already know. That's what I just figured it out. I haven't eaten anything. It's 8:05. The last time I ate something was this morning. You wanna know what that was? It was a protein shake. Doing myself a disservice. Bitch, I get up on this one. Ashley, what happened? Wake up. Don't do that. That's what it feel like. That's what it is. I just figured it out. The energy ain't there because I ain't ate nothing. Mind you, before I get up off of here, put down in the comments because I feel like, I feel like I want to. I want to talk about more documentaries that y'all are watching or anything that y'all are watching because I do want to add some more shows. I do know that Bel Air is coming back on the 24th of November, the final season on Peacock. No, I'm not reviewing that. That's just my show. But also, Reasonable Doubt is coming back later this month, probably in a couple of weeks. I know for sure that Rocks, she'll be reviewing that season for sure. Make sure y'all go subscribe to her so that y'all can, what? Roland Ray gone. Make sure y'all subscribe to her so that, hold on. Y'all can keep up. What? Hold on. And I haven't been seeing him. No, that's the wrong thing. Oh my God, he died? It is with heavy heart. If this is really his mama account, she said, it is with heavy heart that I let you all know that my son Ray, I am Roland Ray, has gone home to be with the Lord. I thank everyone who has called, texted. This is going to be a long road. Please pray for us as we push forward to lay him to rest. Only God knows. I know that he's been going through some shit. Remember when he got, he was in the hospital a while, especially when, you know, COVID first came through. You know, his mouth was vicious and everything too. So some people probably wouldn't care. But at the same time, I remember when he got, oh my God. Wow, Roland Ray died. Damn. I'm sitting in my room with tears rolling down my cheeks. I am so heartbroken. I don't have words for this right now. You are my favorite person. Why you dog me like this? Why you do me like this? Damn. Golly. Well, that just fucked up my mood. Y'all know he was vicious with his mouth too. So I can understand that some people don't, you know, you gotta be prepared for the influx of people that ain't gonna care and that's gonna mock, but that's crazy. I will never forget when them protests was going on for the Black Lives Matter and he was in that wheelchair and he rolled up on them That shit will forever be fucking funny, bitch. He was out there doing his thing, though, because he was literally out there giving them cops the business, and he tried to roll over their fucking feet. That shit was so fucking funny. Oh, my God, I can't believe, and we have not heard much from him lately. I know he had some health problems and shit. Y'all remember when he caught on fire at one point, but, you know, he had to deal with that, and he had some, oh, Lord have mercy. That's crazy. Wow. Rest in peace, sir. Rest in peace. You were funny for what it was. You was funny. That's crazy. But, damn, that threw me off. Make sure y'all go on Netflix, too, if you haven't watched that documentary on that catfish, that high school catfish, Unknown Number. Bitch, and I did a review. I did a little discussion about it. You can go watch that too once you finish. Cause listen, Kendra gotta go to jail, and I really hope. I don't understand how she's still out and she not on nobody's predator list, because that bitch is a PDF file. Okay, she's a PDF file that just hasn't truly acted on it. But the shit that she was, girl, just fucking watch it if you haven't. But anyway, girl, I gotta get the fuck up off here, cause now I gotta go investigate. Cause goddamn. Shit, I just hate hearing about people that you, anyway, y'all enjoy, that just brought my mood down. Y'all, enjoy the rest of y'all week, be safe with it, and I will see y'all later. And listen, next week, I'm gonna be better. You ain't gotta put it down in the comments, baby, don't hurt my feelings like that, because I already know I'm finna be hard on myself, because I already know, but be okay, you guys. I'll see y'all later. Peace.